Hey y'all, this is Kim with Creative Escapades. Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me today. Let's jump right into our video and see what we can create. So I'm working on another pumpkin project. 'Tis fall season, so it is appropriate. But this one I want to do a little bit different. I have the Paper Mache Pumpkin, and I'm going to be using this Krylon gold and silver spray to seal the Paper Mache. And then I want to come back in with a color on top of that and try to create a webbing pattern on it. And I'm going to add this Treadmill Silicone Oil to my cup of FolkArt Black Flash. This is a ColorShift paint. And I'm going to add about 3 squirts of it into the cup. And I think with the silicone oil and the high gloss that I've already coated onto the pumpkin, that it's going to allow me to get that web appearance that I'm after. And I'm stirring the silicone oil into my paint, stirring it quite a bit. The more that you stir, once you've added your silicone oil, the smaller your cells will be. And that's kind of what I want. I want the lacing look to it. And I'm just going to pour this in a small amount and do it in sections. Don't want to go all the way around it. Want to try to control any drips or runs. And I did use probably about 20% water in this, so I want to make sure that as I do it, I can try to catch those runoffs, and I don't want it dripping off the edge at the bottom of the pumpkin. And I'm just using my finger and just kind of tapping it around. Don't want to swipe it. I just want to gently move the paint where I need it to be, and then I'll use my torch to come in and hit it with the heat that will allow that silicone oil to heat up and then cause those cells to emerge. And at first I started just by trying to heat up with a constant stream of the torch, and it did work that way, but it wasn't getting the desired effect that I wanted. So I started doing just tapping it and allowing the heat just to hit it for a second, and then that's when I started getting that webbing appearance that I was after. And I just keep tapping around, not trying to swipe the paint anywhere. I just want to get a little bit of coverage, not a lot. I was a little bit worried about using just the Black Flash. I thought maybe going with a green or a orange color would be more appropriate, but I was trying to get away from the traditional orange pumpkin look and wanted a little bit more of a richer tone with the metallic colors, and didn't want them to just take over the pumpkin. But I've seen some pumpkins that have like that webbing appearance, and they'll have the orange and the green or just kind of webbed together. And that was the appearance that I was trying to achieve on this one, only I wanted it to do in something that wasn't orange or green. I already have done some pumpkins like that this year, so I wanted something a little bit more decorative that would maybe not just be exactly the fall colors, but would still be very, very nice for decor. Almost finished. Just just a little bit more, and I'm really loving the effects of the tap and torch. That's allowing that webbing appearance to come up. The lacing maybe is more appropriate. And I have a little spot here where there was a concentrated amount of black flash, as I just took the tip of my paper towel and put it into the little puddle, and it soaked it right up so that it wouldn't have just one area of complete black paint. And so I'm going to let this set for a minute, and I'm going to work on the leaves. This pumpkin came with 2 leaves attached to the vine that's wrapped around the stem, and it was just kind of floppy at the top, but I don't want them like that. I'm going to attach them to the base of the stem. And what I decided to do with them, instead of continuing with the gold and silver and black flash onto the leaves, I decided just to do just the gold and silver and then the clear coat over them, and let them just not have any of the black flash on them at all. So I'm taking my heat gun and I'm just making sure that everything is dried before I add the leaves to it. I'm just using the heat gun for that. And then I had forgotten to do anything about the stem, so just taking my finger and dipping it into my cup and just getting just enough to rub on the jute that is wrapped around the stem. I don't want to get a complete covering of that, just want that little hint in there. And here the leaves are. They're already sprayed, the gold and the silver, and they have the clear coat on them. And I've already trimmed some of the stem off, and because I want these to come from the very base of the stem of the pumpkin, and I want them to curl just a little bit. So I'm taking a little bit of glue and pinching it together so that edges of it will allow it to curl a little bit. And then once I put them onto the pumpkin, then they'll just kind of naturally take the curve of the pumpkin. See, that's where they had it attached to the top, and I'm just, for the paper mache it was fine, but something for a little more decorative, I don't want them just hanging off the top. But before I do that, I do want to finish the bottom of the pumpkin. I know it's not going to be seen, but I just think that will make it complete in my mind anyways. So I just use some more of the black flash, put it on there with my finger, and then use the tap and torch method to get the cells the same as I did on the side. And then I'm just taking my heat gun and going in to make sure that that's all dry before I turn it back over. And here it is. I have attached the leaves to it, and you still get from that black flash, still get just a little bit of a green hint in there. You get that gold and that silver shining through, and the webbing on it, or the lacing. I just love how this turned out. I am so pleased with it.
That's the only reason you want to get up in the morning, isn't it?
Gold on the leaves and how they lay over each other and then curl away. Just following the natural curve of the pumpkin. And when you get in really close with the light from the camera, you can see that glitter from and when I say glitter, I meant the shimmer maybe more from that flash of the Black Flash, the ColorShift, and just the hint of it going up the stem. And then you see those areas of silver, you see the areas of gold underneath the lacing. I really, really like it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click like and share. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below. I love your feedback. I love to respond to you. And I thank you for taking the time to do that. You make my channel grow when you do. And I appreciate it so much. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can hit that subscribe button. Ring that bell. You'll get notified when I upload future videos. And the description of everything that I used will be listed below in the description box. I want to thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in my next creative escapade. Bye bye for now.